Greetings, y'all. And hello, I trust you can hear me. I'm wearing my earbuds, so let me know if you hear me clearly, please. So that I can speak to the dummies, the donkeys, the idiots. I was swamped with focusing on the Caribbean Championships and dealing with my team, but it's over now, so I could talk to y'all today. All of you had an issue with the Heroes Highway having to be closed. I need to talk to you today, because only one set of people generally had things to say about that. So I could talk to y'all today. Who could talk about cyclists having more importance than Guyanese, or cycling event being more important than the Guyanese? I could talk to you. I'm here to speak to you. As one who served as the coach or the team director of the Guyana cycling team, Team Guyana, I could speak to y'all today. I didn't want to be distracted by your idiocy, but even in this, there's a lot to be said about what Guyana has become. So I'll talk about it today. So as you join the broadcast, just indicate to me that you can hear me clearly, please, and you can see clearly, so that we can address certain things now, right here, right now. As of course, you know, I'm never given to being intimidated or being afraid or being concerned about what people think about me. It's maybe one of the most critical character traits you to possess as a person. Once you're free from the opinions of people, you're free to be honest, and you're free to be straightforward and straight up. I don't ask you for anything. I don't be begging. Good businessman here, please give me something, please give me so. There's no need for me to be cautious. I don't go to any minister, as they call, or any official in government asking for a handout. So there's no way that I have to be concerned about what I say to y'all. Not in the least. So this is a perfect day for me to now present to you the thought processes of the moronic, idiotic, donkey-laden Guyanese who made those comments. Not all of you. The few of you have to be addressed today. Because you have sports exactly where it is in reference to cycling and other events in this country. You have it where it is. That's why most of our cricketers who shine, don't shine in Guyana. They shine because of where they go across the world to play, and they have a different culture where sports is concerned. Oh, but y'all donkeys, I'm ready for y'all today, believe me. Is it clear? Broadcast is good? As I said, I know I'm wearing my earbuds, so I don't know the quality of the sound you get from me. Hopefully it's good enough. So once you indicate to me that you hear me well, we're good to go, we're ready to roll. I just need to see your comments that you hear me clearly, and I am ready to speak. I don't wait for numbers to build on my broadcast or anything to say. It's good? You hear me well? I have to address this today, and I have to be or express how angry I am at what Guyana is becoming and has become. Thank you, John. Thank you for the feedback. Sound is good. Okay, great. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Corrine, for the feedback as well. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, I'm trying to get my phone secure. Okay. Now, historically, Guyana was given the opportunity, and I will begin here by saying, again, Irfan Ali, serving as president, apart from Burnham, has done a tremendous good for cycling in this country. Because Forbes Burnham is unmatched. Nobody could come close to Burnham. He was instrumental with Corifta, which is CARICOM, the games where CARICOM nations get together to compete. CARIFest, which would be our cultures meeting, and Burnham was the first. That was his brainchild. So we get together. That's why we have Festival City being built. You need to know these things. An entire city, an entire town was built in the context of discussion here. For participants in the festival, in CARIFesta, CARIFest, and these things, that was Burnham. So you can't match it with that. But Irfan Ali stepped up when he was approached by the Guyanese Cycling Federation to say that he would certainly throw his support and weight behind us being able to host for the first time ever, the Senior Caribbean Championship cycling. That was, you have to give credit where it's due. Irfan Ali has to be given credit, because he wasn't in any way, shape or form dismissive as other people in his party would have been. He was in no way just throwing the Cycling Federation aside and say, y'all can't do it. He said, this is going to happen, pointed to certain people, say, make it happen. So I must begin with giving Ali the credit, because it is due him. What I have an issue with is with the culture that has hit Guyana, the lawless, disgraceful culture in your drivers. Now, in order to host a cycling event of the magnitude of the Caribbean Championships, certain things had to happen. This comes under the Union Cyclists International, which is the UCI, the governing body for cycling. So it's not a do what you want like Guyanese is accustomed to. You have to stick to certain things. One such being that the course in which the riders will ride had to be closed, because we had cyclists from 19 countries in Guyana. 19 nations came here to be represented. That's significant. I think 18 or 19 countries. We had over 100 cyclists, about 120 or so cyclists. We had about 160 or so cyclists and officials. This was a major event. Unfortunately, I speak to that as well. NCN, being NCN, governed by whoever you know, there's a Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports. They didn't see the need to come out to the Heroes Highway and stream this event live, because we didn't expect us to shine the way we did. Who knows? But this is a perfect opportunity for NCN to bring their cameras, have it out there on site, and for the whole world to see, and all of Guyana to see, our very own Brighton John, for example, shining after 15, I think it's 15 years, just about being on the medal again. Being on the podium, medaling, and potentially would have won that race if he didn't have certain issues, but that's a different story. Alright? But he rode his heart out. The Guyanese cyclists rode their hearts out for Guyana. How many people got a chance to see this tonight shouting? Do you know that there's a little Marina girl in Region 9 who won at the national championships in cycling? She could have sat in her house possibly and seen this. But NCN didn't see this as being important enough to come to stream such a historic event. But that's another story. But here's my issue. The UCI stipulates that you have to close roads in order for you to have cycling of that nature. If you heard about the Tour de France, Giro d'Italia, Vuelta a España, the World Cycling Championships, you would know that roads have to be closed. The Dominican Republic, which hosts most of the Caribbean Championships, have got 11 million people or so. About 11 million people. And they look forward to this because it becomes a part of their culture. In the Dominican Republic, they close roads without issue, because this is an expectation. This is a big event, our country's hosting this event. Close the roads and we're going to show them Dominica. Guyanese, some of y'all, don't have any sense whatsoever. So you got a problem with Heroes Highway being closed, because that's the only road you could drive. It's so bad that according to some reports, even, and wait for what I saw, it's this public knowledge. The men were supposed to come out of the Suez like Linden Highway, right along the East Bank. This would have been showcasing Guyana. They would have seen the highway, they would have seen the East Bank, then they got to Heroes Highway. Do you know that the police couldn't do that because of people? That's what Guyana is about. So imagine we can showcase Region 10, some parts of Region 10 probably, or very close to Region 10. They could have seen our highway, they could have seen the work that's been done, they could have seen the East Bank corridor, riding that is. They could have a chance to experience the hilly sand and clear region, then they come into the low coastal plain, but we don't think that far. So we just say, go on the Heroes Highway, so you could just close the road and have you secure, right? What is interesting to note is that people had an issue with that highway being closed. The Heroes Highway. They had a problem with it. And what I'm here to speak to you about is this, that Guyanese had the nerve to say that Brighton, for example, with the passion he rode with, Brighton John, the passion he rode with, other cyclists from so many countries, Brighton was maybe the only one I saw who was weeping with passion. He cried because he didn't win the gold medal. I love that. I love that. Because his heart is the heart of a lion and a champion. He wanted to win for his country. And as the coach or the director of the team, I should say, I felt heartened to know that this young man has so much passion when he wore the golden arrowhead, the flag, the colors, I should say, of the golden arrowhead. Somebody said, yeah, but they were crying as drivers because they had a long traffic backup. Now, hold on a second. First of all, if the Guyana Police Force knew that the cycling event had been held on the Heroes Highway, this would have included the Heroes Highway. For months ago, they knew this, or more than close to a month. Why did they not issue to you all a public alert or notice? They did 2 days before. Why didn't they say this to you weeks ago? Listen, we have a championship to be held. We want to make you aware of this situation. There will be inconvenience over 4 or 5 hours, even 10 hours in a day. The road will not be closed forever. But this is good for Guyana because it's the culture of sports. It's in keeping with Ali's vision to make Guyana a sporting destination. None of that the police said. So they did not inform you. NCN didn't see the need to inform you. The media outlets, so many of them are around, they didn't see the need to inform the Guyanese public because obviously it is not that important. So now cyclists are seen as the enemy because the road is closed for cycling. Not only that. So I saw drivers being so aggressive towards people from other countries. Something wrong with your head. You are mad. When the countries who long to do what Guyana did, who long to be showcased like Guyana. A person spoke about how much they love our country, how beautiful it is, because they thought Guyanese just rode donkeys and stuff like that, and we were wild people. They were shocked to see the development in this country. The roads that we have here this year are better than many roads in their countries. All of that the people could talk about, but they all could talk about traffic, the inconvenience of being in traffic. When you were told more so days before that this road would be closed, you still show up to use the same road. When you were, that's Guyanese, that's mostly many of y'all. You were told the road would be closed, and you come to the same road and have a problem it's closed. You were told it would be closed for a particular period of time, and you come within that same time frame and have a problem when the road is closed. But I'm going somewhere with this with me, y'all. If you think that's the bad part, listen to the worst part. So cycling got a problem because the Heroes Highway was closed. None of these people, and this is what I'm going to leave it to y'all with right here. None of you spoke about Diwali. Not one of y'all who talk about cycling making the road be closed. Not one of you suckers talk about Diwali. And last week there was a motorcade for Diwali. You talk about that on Wednesday. What happened on the East Coast? No, y'all tell me. No, because cycling's a problem. How is it that the road could be closed for Diwali is not a problem? That's why you dogs to talk about. I call you a dog because some people are dogs. You're not people. You are dogs. When you got a certain mentality, I call you a dog because that's just what you are. How is it that you racist dogs couldn't talk about Diwali? Oh, so Diwali is more important than cycling. Nobody don't die if they walk in the road in Diwali. But cyclists crash and died in this country before, if you don't know that. Cyclists in this country, Carfest Avenue, crashed into a car and died, if you don't know that. But Diwali the road could be, the East Coast Road could be shut off for hours and it wasn't a problem. But cyclists, because all of Guyana cyclists, in reference to the national team, were predominantly African descendants. Most of the cyclists in Guyana are African descendants. They don't play cricket. So the sport that Africans are dominating, y'all got a problem with it. But the Diwali motorcade wasn't a problem. Oh, so it's okay to close the East Coast Road and have people for hours backed up. You can't move an inch. That wasn't a problem. But it's a problem when Brighton and others have to ride on the road for their safety and they could crash again, riding at 40 and some miles an hour, 35 miles an hour, 60 kilometers an hour. If you crash on a bike, you practically or more than likely dead or severely injured. It is life-threatening. And y'all dogs could have a problem with us closing the road, the police closing the road to keep us safe. But Diwali, you put the motorcade, you put lights up and road along the East Coast and Hindu gods, there's no problem. Not a problem. There was no inconvenience on Wednesday night for the motorcade. No inconvenience. No, I don't have any chill when it comes to dealing with y'all. You know, I'm not the kind of person to be so cautious because I don't want to offend anybody. I don't care about any one of y'all. Somebody called me, we got bumped off. Tell me if you're back and we good. You can hear me well? Lucky the person called and calm me down a little bit. You dogs. You tell me you didn't say a word about motorcade for Diwali. Nothing. And that was a million times worse than what happened to Heroes Highway. But you only got a problem with that. The police weren't afraid of what will happen at motorcade, but they're concerned about simply, and all that was said by the UCI was simple. You close the highway. You close the highway to vehicular traffic. This is very simple. You close the highway. You close the East Bank. This is what they were going to do. As the race passes your village, the village will be open for the people going the opposite direction, and up to that point of the so they're not catching the highway closed forever. They roll out, and those guys ride at tremendous speeds. So when they got out of the highway, it would take them maybe a little more than an hour. The highway would have been reopened. From Susdike Junction Highway, open again. As they pass Susdike is open. They get to Covenden, that's open. Garden of Eden, behind that's open. So when they got into Heroes Highway, then the East Bank is open again. You suckers can't even accept something so simple. But for Diwali, where the East Coast Road is closed, you only got no problem. And that's bad English, but I'll say it. It's really don't have any problem. I'll say it again. You only got no problem. No issue you have with the East Coast Road being closed for Diwali. Where the motorcade moves very slowly. Nobody gets killed. Because the vehicle moves so slowly, if anything happens, no problem. When it comes to cycling and simply closing the Heroes Highway, we have other access routes. No, it's a problem, man. Because you don't do that much for cyclists, right? If you have a cricket motorcade, a cricket carnival, no problem. Close the road and wind up on Benova and all that, cricket carnival. No inconvenience. There's no inconvenience. There's no inconvenience when you close the road for cricket carnival. But it was most inconveniencing for cyclists to be kept safe when they were representing Guyana. That was a major inconvenience for y'all, to keep our young men, and of course Denise, Jeffrey, the female, to keep international cyclists safe. That was too much to ask of y'all. Way too much to ask of. And in every other country where the Caribbean Championship was held, the roads are closed, cyclists are safe. In Guadeloupe, the road is closed, no problem. But the racist Guyanese can't live with the fact that the road has to be closed, since they got too much money, you know the big boys, right? They got too much money to be inconvenienced. Some of y'all, these little black boys riding bicycles, why must they close the road for y'all? But close it for Diwali though. And keep repeating it to get some of y'all real angry. Close it for Diwali, no problem. Close it for cricket carnival, no problem, because of course that is not a black people sport, that's an African sport. But anything else, we got a problem if we close the road to keep young men safe. And it's not just Guyanese. There are people from Puerto Rico here, Dominican Republic, Dominica, Guadeloupe, St. Lucia, Barbados, Trinidad. So many countries came, Cuba. So many countries showed up in here. Representatives of those countries were here. And you impolite, discourteous dogs, racist pigeons, the best you could do is seek to insult your country, your big stupid selves. And I will say this without reservation. Racists cannot reason. And you've proven to be so, because you're so stupid. Only a few days before you had a motorcade, you forgot that already. You forgot that you had a motorcade on the East Coast and traffic was backed up for more than 4 or 5 hours in some cases. People couldn't move. That's how stupid you are. You won't think so far. You won't think so far to say, hey, this doesn't make any sense because the road, you good? The road was closed for motorcade. You wouldn't even think that far. Say, if I talk, I look really stupid here because these people close off the East Coast Road for motorcade. For Diwali motorcade. So if they close the Heroes Highway, I mean, why would I fuss? You didn't even get that much common sense. No, you prefer for people to ride the bicycles at 30, 40 kilometers an hour. Sometimes faster than that, 50, 55 kilometers an hour. You prefer for them to crash and die. Dumb, stupid people. That's what before that happened. For Guyana to make the news that a cyclist, and it actually almost happened in one instant. because somebody couldn't wait, and harassing the police about trying to let them cross the road. They almost caused crisis and crashed into a cement truck. In France, if you didn't know, I have friends who traveled to France who told me France, and they spoke to the fact that for that cycling event, it's the French culture. They look forward to the road being closed for them to go out to watch cycling. And people sometimes they just pass in 5 seconds the race pass, but they don't mind. They don't care if their town has to be closed for 2, 3, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, just to see cyclists pass in 30 seconds. They don't have an issue with that. But y'all, you racist ones in this country, could behave in that manner to insult your people, to insult your nation and insult yourself. And I will speak about it because it requires to be, it has to be addressed. I don't have the bone in me to be afraid to tell you how I feel about your behavior. You do good, I tell you do good, but when you do stupid things like these, I'll talk about you because you are an idiot. You are racist idiots. You don't even process well. In Belgium, in so many countries in Europe, I say even in the Caribbean, persons have already begun to say that they want to come back to Guyana so that they can race. But if they haven't seen some of your comments, and it's the thing that got to me, make me have to come and deal with y'all, you privileged bastards, it's those of you think you're in this elite neighborhood. Is y'all talking about? Y'all believe it you because you live in a certain place? Providence and Eccles and stuff like that, nobody can talk to you. Get from here, you big stupid selves. That's what people need to talk to y'all. Because you don't need nobody. I don't have any respect for y'all. None of you. Because half of you now live in these communities have not got there by any legal, lawful, honest means. That's why it's so lawless. You go under the table and get contract with somebody you don't know squat about construction, but you could just pull a few strings and get something to happen for you. Cook some, book something, you do. That's what got you where you are, so you now believe that you're privileged. Something about you from Tommy Sager and $2, you think nobody can talk to you. So now the whole world must be open. No, you can't be inconvenienced. Your country was put on what is called the sporting map. And you're so dumb that you can't see the benefit that would accrue here. You racist dogs. And I ensure that I allow a whole day, 2 days to go by with fight dogs. I'm not talking here, guessing what I'm saying. I observed who was saying what. That's what I pay attention to. Who was saying it? That's what I looked at. Because I'm not going to rush in and talk like a bad man. I paid careful attention to who were the people talking. And yes, I did. What was the ethnic makeup? I should look at that carefully to see before I come and talk to y'all. Let me see who got something to say. And I can tell you that out of every 100, 99 of y'all were of Indian descent. And of course, because most of the police were there were African descendants, you still have a problem with that too, because African policemen blocking you from going, you gotta go, you black man can't tell you to go. That's how y'all are. Because you must, I saw it because of the members in team cars and stuff. I saw how y'all talk to policemen. I saw it. I saw the policemen having to almost get to blows with some of y'all. Because they can't tell you mustn't ride here. You mustn't drive past here. And of course, somebody could get on the phone and make a call, and so they truck must pass. I saw even a big hauler, those 80-wheeler trucks, forcing its way to the stupid course because the police can't tell him to turn back, to not come here. And that truck is owned by some little small man. So just get the message, please. And if nobody tells you other by yourselves, you think that life is just normal. Apparently, you could just do what you want to. You wouldn't have joined me. Because as one who would have had to serve in the capacity I did, and saw what I saw, and read what I would have read, I have an issue with your behavior. Because you are racist to the core. To tell me that you have no complaints about Diwali's motorcade, tells me everything about y'all. To tell me that a motorcade of the magnitude that you saw on Wednesday the 31st of October, okay? Thursday, the 1st of November, or Thursday, whatever it was. I think it was what? Saturday the 2nd, somewhere around Friday the 2nd, Saturday the 3rd, right? So 3 or 4 days before, you had your motorcade. Days, not weeks, so they can say, man, we forgot what happened. Just 3 days before it was a motorcade on the East Coast. And it was a nightmare. It was hell. Days before. And now, 4 days later, for the safety of people, for people's lives, this is not about limb. Life could be involved here. Just to keep people safe. You people have a problem with that. You have a problem with that. For us to have an opportunity to show the world, to show the Caribbean environment, what this country is like, to show the East Bank corridor, as I said, to show the highway, because it's two different geographic regions you would have been in. You people, because I don't understand, and I will say this now and speak about it some more later. I can't understand how you can have a traffic chief, a traffic department in the Guyana Police Force who can say across the board that they don't have the ability to control traffic on the East Bank. I don't understand that. I mean, it beats me. I am dumbfounded. The same thing happened in England the other day. We had to have a race. Oh, you can't go here. You can't. I said to the police before, it is simple. At any race that we choose normally to have areas where traffic can be diverted and you're not inconvenience people. So you can move. You just move slower. But you move to the outskirts of the race. You put people on dangerous course, and of course, cyclists crash and hurt himself. Because they don't understand that cycling is an event that's fast-paced with little protection. The only thing protected in cycling is your head. Nothing else. And that's a helmet. And that protects the crown of your head and the back of your head, not your face. Y'all don't seem to understand that your ribs are protected. We don't have protection for our ribs. We don't have seat belt and airbags. But it seems to me as if cyclists' lives are not important. And I'm saying this as one who rides myself. It seems to me as though our lives don't matter. Because we are not the ones who can vote and stuff like that, I guess. We're not people who have power to say how we feel. And that's why these truckers could roll over some of us and knock people down, because if the police could, to some extent, some people in certain circles, behave as if we're not that important, what happens? We're an inconvenience to y'all. We pay taxes too. Hey, man. I am just amazed at what this country has become, honestly. Because I will tell you all without reservation, under Forbes Burnham, the whole East Bank could be closed. I can tell you all this. I could bet my life on that. Under Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham, not a policeman could tell him that they can't close also the Caribbean Championship could pass through here. I could bet you my life that there's no police who would even attempt to tell Burnham such garbage. They wouldn't even think about making such a stupid statement. Comrade leader, we can't close the East Bank because people can get vexed. You feel anybody could tell Burnham that? Yeah, y'all get mad now. Let me just be straight with you, because I'm not afraid to call Burnham's name. He's a hero for me, based on how he treated with those imperialists who wanted to come and colonialists who want to come and rule Guyana. He dealt with them in a proper way. You believe that any policeman of any rank could tell Forbes Burnham that they can't close the highway because people can be mad? Or traffic flow will be interrupted, hence you can't host such a major event like the Caribbean Championships? You feel you could tell Burnham that? Huh? Sports is now a culture. And Ramson, the minister responsible for sports, should know 10 times better if he knows better. There's a culture of sports in this world. Sports is a business. It's not a hobby. There are people who came to Guyana who are professional athletes who pay to ride the bicycles. We don't have any of them in Guyana like that right now at the moment. This is why I hold that Brighton and others get a chance to have a professional contract. I think he would, given his performance. The guy who won the Caribbean Championship from Belize, Corey Williams, he's actually American, but I understand it. His parents are Belizean. But that guy is a professional rider. So they don't, and Corey races across the U.S. So Corey knows, for example, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where you have the Tulsa Tough race, they shut the city blocks down. For the Harlem skyscraper race in New York City, they closed the whole blocks down. And hold on, you got millions of people living in New York. Millions of cars. And they know that when the Harlem Classic comes around, the road is closed, period. But in Guyana, where you have less than 1 million people, in Georgia, where you have about 400,000 people or 500,000 people, you can't close the road because people can die. But you can close the road. You can close the road for Diwali, since nobody will be affected. You can close the road for motorcade, where you just put lights up, as I said again, some Hindu gods on a truck, and some girls sit with their hand. Yeah, close the road for that. But don't close the road for people to ride bicycles, to race. And many of them were professional athletes who came to this country. Their contracts. Many young men and women could now receive contracts, if you don't know. Professional contracts, endorsement deals and stuff for riding so well in this championship. That's how much was on the line. Your country can become a tourist destination. If you don't know, there's something called sports tourism, which is what Irfan Ali understood, but others didn't. When you go to England and you talk about Guyana, most people talk about cricket. GCC ground border. Oh, they saw Clive Lloyd did this. They saw Faith Richards did that. They saw Ian Healy. They could remember things because Guyana was known for hosting cricket. They don't know anything about Essequibo. They don't know about Berbice unless they played at Albion. They don't know anything about Linden because cricket wasn't played in Linden. But they could remember event locations because their experience that they had with sports. Now they can talk about the Heroes Highway because they came here and they had a chance to ride Caribbean Championships. They have a memory of riding in Guyana. What do they also have if they read Facebook? A memory of some donkeys living in Guyana. The most simple of things you have a problem with is just basically having the road closed to keep people safe. But they close roads in New York. They close roads in Los Angeles. They close roads in Oklahoma. They close roads in Arizona. They close so many roads. When you have the tour of Utah, the roads are closed. The tour of California, the Amgen tour of California, roads are closed for hours. And those are millions of people living in those cities. But for Guyana, it's a problem. This is just the first part, because the other things have to do with we're concerned because we have to get it right. Irfan Ali must be commended. I cannot point a finger to Irfan. And you all know that I tell Irfan exactly how I feel about his behavior. But in this case, I cannot do it because Irfan did what was expected of him. We will host the championship. Because most people know how leadership functions. He said it. He gave a directive at the president, as one who serves as president of Guyana. And that's all you need to say. He went as far as to, of course, ensure that certain people are tasked with responsibilities, which would definitely include the Guyana Police Force, the Army, the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports. They'd be the first one. He did his part. Unfortunately, other people don't seem to understand how important sports is. Ali loves cricket. He loves sports, maybe cricket more than anything else. But others don't seem to understand how critical sports is to the development of a country. Do you know that Corey Williams and Justin Williams have got probably videos with over sometimes maybe close to 1 million views? Huh? So when Corey now goes to YouTube and speaks of racing in Guyana and they show footage of him racing in Guyana, guess what? You'll be seeing the Heroes Highway. Some you'll be seeing yourself. You'll be seeing your country on display now here because, okay, Guyana has gotten involved in hosting the Caribbean Championship. Yes, the High Commissioner of Belize was out there. The High Commissioner of Belize may want to host the Caribbean Championships next year. but they'll talk about Guyana. You have to understand how this thing functions. But for y'all, the racist crew, the racist bunch, Diwali is more important. Motorcade on the East Coast, you could tread the road down for 6-7 hours. No problem. But don't ever close it for cycle race. See y'all. We'll talk again soon.